Only the most ambitious, skeptical, and curious heroes of the world have had the guts to answer the core questions that build the very foundations of society. For example, Albert Einstein had the guts to make theories of special relativity, and he's now known the world over as being one of the most important people of our time. Amelia Earhart asked if it was possible for women to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, solo no less, and she's now considered one of the most innovative aviators of all time. And Sebastian Vettel? Well, he had the guts to ask such questions as, what the fuck are we doing here, and what are we doing, racing or ping pong? Welcome to F1 in a nutshell.
Talking about shit in Formula 1 that nobody likes, it's in a nutshell!
In this brand new and improved version of F1 in a nutshell, it's not, we're just saying that to big ourselves up, we're going to have a look at the driver that has simultaneously been the most hated and the most loved at the same time. Ferrari's little golden boy, Sebastian Vettel, the incredible and skillful 4-time world champion. Let's get it over with, shall we? Sebastian Vettel started his racing career at the age of 3.5. And what the fuck were you doing at 3.5? Exactly. In 1998, he was accepted into the Red Bull Junior Club, which boosted his publicity significantly. You see, working for exposure isn't too bad in hindsight. In 2005, he participated in the F3 Euro Series, in which he finished 5th in the tables behind Frank Pereira, good luck finding out who he is, Lucas de Grassi, Adrian Sutil, and Lewis Hamilton, who did a Lance Stroll in F3 before Lance Stroll even made it cool. In 2006, Vettel became BMW Sauber's third driver after Jacques Villeneuve gave up the ghost and Robert Kubica went to replace him. He did a test session in Monza, and that's about it. I know he probably did more, but, you know, this is F1 in a nutshell. We don't exactly pride ourselves in detailed research. Sebastian Vettel got his big break when Robert Kubica crashed heavily in Canada, putting him out of action for a few races. He replaced him in the US Grand Prix, becoming the youngest driver at the time to score points in his debut race, at just 19 years old. I'm having a midlife crisis just reading this right now. Once the Hungarian Grand Prix came around, Vettel was released by BMW and given a permanent seat in Toro Rosso, with his best finish of that season being 4th in Canada, and thus the first of many intellectual quotes were uttered by this beautiful man. In 2008, things got even better for Vettel. His first half of the season started off terribly, but that was all to be nullified once he took pole position in Monza and subsequently won the race straight after, becoming the youngest driver to win a Grand Prix at the time. Which is a record that will never be broken, I think. 2009 rolled around and Sebastian Vettel was promoted from Toro Rosso to Red Bull Racing after David Coulthard retired, and became a genuine title contender, winning 4 races, but ultimately was beaten by the Brawn GP car of Jenson Button, who by that time had announced for the 98th time that he was going to retire. Those were the days. 2010 was the big break that Sebastian Vettel had been fighting for, taking the championship fight to not only Jenson Button, but Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, and even his own teammate Mark Webber, taking the fight all the way to the final race, where he won the championship by a mere 4 points, becoming the youngest ever Formula 1 world champion in the process. Warning: if you are not a Vettel fan, please avert your eyes now. He kicked unconstitutional ass in 2011, nearly lost the title in 2012 but retained it after Schumacher let him through. Thanks, Michael! And kicked even more ass in 2013, becoming a 4-time world champion in only 4 years. Absolute domination that no one can fathom with their own tiny mind. Okay, you can come back now, it's all over. 2014 was a wake-up call for the seemingly indestructible Seb. Despite being in the second best car that season, didn't get a single win, as his teammate Daniel Ricciardo managed to get 3 wins and an impressive 3rd in the tables, while Vettel only managed a disappointing 5th. Even being beaten by Valtteri Bottas. I just want to mention that, for my sake anyway. Once 2015 rolled around, he left Red Bull and joined a broken and beat-up Scuderia Ferrari, who had a terrible season, by their standards anyway, in 2014. This year though, they were in the same situation that Red Bull was in 2014, but instead of Vettel's teammate being the one who racked up all the victories, it was Sebastian himself, picking up 3 wins and simultaneously not taking out Bottas and Russia. Can't say about the other one though, you prick. 2016 was a mess, to say the least. Sebastian Vettel had some dreadful luck, even worse than Hamilton, objectively, and Ferrari fans were teased in the most painful way imaginable, as Vettel looked like he was going to win a few races after some incredible starts, only for either his car, the strategy they were on, or Vettel himself letting him down. He was once again in the same situation that he had actively tried to avoid back in 2014. So what the heck is going to happen in 2017? If you look at it from Ferrari's perspective, you won't find anything fantastic. If you look at it from an unbiased fan, again, you won't find anything fantastic. So that's about it. Join us next time when we talk about someone who might actually be worth talking about. Au revoir!